In the beginning, in the time before time, there was nothing. There was only silence. But then something changed. A presence, a vibration, an awareness, a consciousness. Suddenly, something was moving in the universe, and in perceiving that movement, we came into existence. This idea is something that we might very simply call a drone, a cyclical movement that we can orient ourselves against. And in this case, it's so low that depending on how you're listening to this, you might not even hear it. So what we want to add maybe some harmonics. This is our starting point. Now we added a little bit of movement, so that now this drone, this collection of harmonics, they're shifting a little bit. And we're going to tease this out to make a whole universe out of this with constant movement and shifting. And it comes from nothing. It comes from essentially a drone. It comes from essentially a sine wave. Now, if you've been watching previous videos, you've seen me go into feedback an awful lot. And feedback is where you just take any signal and you use it to influence itself in a runaway process that leads to all sorts of crazy essential and minimalist textures. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to use roar, and we're going to drive our signal a bit. Okay, you see what's happening now? Okay, so now let's let this roar unit feedback onto itself. You hear the movements in the sound? Let's have that happen automatically with an LFO. So this LFO, nice and slow, will affect the time. Okay, do you hear how much movement there is already in this sound? Let's start adding in proper distortion. Ooh. Okay, now we've created something kind of wild, kind of shifting. So let's cut away drastically in the frequencies using something called the slink filter. It's like a many bands filter, right? And so it's kind of based on a liquid. So you get these kind of waves going up and down. Let's also move it from left to right, so that it comes in and out. The point of all of this is that we have created a whole sound world from nothing. A small initial movement, which is that sine wave that we use at the beginning, is now creating all these different swirls and textural effects. And it feels very alive. And so if we put something like a functional groove under there, then we're creating a minimalist techno composition from almost nothing.